Guys, today I'm going to show you my version of a come to me oil. Come to me oil is a well-known and popular love oil used in root work and other kinds of witchcraft. It is used to call to you a specific person and attract your desired person closer to you. Many people also use it to draw in abundance, but this recipe uses love herbs intended specifically to draw a person to you. This is just my version, but if you wanted to use this as a base, you can also add herbs like catnip, honeysuckle, ginger, passion flower, or passion fruit, cloves, patchouli, or even rosemary. To get started, you're going to want to clean the bottle that you're using with an incense stick, a lavender wand, a piece of sage, whatever type of cleansing incense you like to use, but I would recommend using some kind of love incense or something like strawberry or rose. You can even use a charcoal disc and drop some rose petals or some jasmine or any of the other herbs that you're going to be using in this recipe. You can also cleanse your working area around your bottle as well. First herb you're going to want to add to your mortar is lavender, and lavender will draw in a spiritual love. It stimulates your emotional center and will reprogram your subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind often holds limiting beliefs about love, whether it's feelings of inadequacy, dealing with abandonment issues, or past traumas. Lavender helps reprogram your mind to be open to love. It brings a gentle, calm energy to your relationships. Lavender is also highly protective and has a healing quality to it that will ensure that your partnership is relaxed and secure. You will draw in a balanced, healthy, and calming kind of lover. As you're grinding your herbs in your mortar, remember that you're adding all your intention and your energy as you're stirring it. So as you grind the lavender, just make sure to put in your intentions. Think about love, think about that specific person you're trying to draw in, and make sure to always be stirring clockwise, because when you're stirring clockwise, you're bringing things to you. In the original recipe, I only used red roses, but as you see here, we're adding in some pink rose petals. Pink roses have a more gentle, balanced, and pure love. Pink roses help you attract an emotionally satisfying relationship. Roses carry a finely tuned feminine energy which helps you enhance your own inner beauty and in turn helps you recognize your outer beauty. It gives you confidence while banishing any doubts about the stunning beauty that you are. This inner confidence in turn will help you draw that lover near. Next, you'll be adding in your jasmine. Jasmine, next to rose, is one of the top flowers for love. For this reason, jasmine is referred to as the king of flowers. Jasmine helps draw in a new love, or it can be used to enhance an existing one. Jasmine carries a divine, loving energy that connects with all of existence. Its intense scent will make your partner or future partner desire you on every level. Jasmine is often used in more lust and desirous love formulas. Now you're going to want to add in your red rose petals. And red roses are almost always associated with romance and love. Think of Valentine's Day. That's usually when people will go out and buy red roses. And they're typically given to you by a boyfriend or girlfriend or your spouse. So for those reasons, it's always almost associated with romance. Some love oils or even come to me oils call for an entire dried red rose, including the stem and the petals. So if you have a flower that you got from a bouquet, from your boyfriend or girlfriend, or just one that you might have picked in your garden, dry it and then add the entire thing into this oil. I'm only using the petals here, but later you'll see why. Red roses in particular have a more seductive, romantic nature, so for me, I think a well-balanced oil will have both red and pink roses, but it's all up to you. So if you want to just go ahead and add the red roses, that's perfect, but if you also want to use pink, you can combine them or just use the pink alone. Now you're going to want to add in your hibiscus, and hibiscus comes in either its whole form, like I'm using here, or a cut version that has much smaller pieces, so this is why I'm using the mortar, especially for this one. You can often find hibiscus in Latin markets sold as jamaica, which is made into agua de jamaica, which means hibiscus water, but it's actually an iced hibiscus tea. And hibiscus tea is said to induce lust by anyone who drinks it. It's often associated with passion, romance, and desire. So hibiscus is often used in love and lust spells and potions. It's actually pretty difficult to break up with the mortar and pestle, so if you need to use your fingers to break it up, that's fine too. If you wanted to use a hibiscus powder, that would actually work really well in this oil, because when hibiscus is crushed up, or even if you heat the oil a little bit, it imparts this beautiful dark red, purpley color. So it would look really beautiful in this oil. And if you use it like this in its whole form, or if it's lightly crushed, it will give the oil more of a light or a baby pink color. Next, you're going to add in your cinnamon sticks, and here I'm using 2 cinnamon sticks, and this is meant to symbolize the 2 people, you and the desired party, but it's all about what intention and energy you put into it. So if you want to just use 1 piece, that's totally okay. And cinnamon is a warming, fiery herb. It's used in Come To Me oil to ignite a passionate fire between the 2 people. Now, add in your rosebuds, and just like the cinnamon, I added 2 rosebuds to symbolize you and your intended partner. But if you wanted to work with magic numbers like 3, 5, 7, you can do that also. It doesn't have to be just 2. And rosebuds, to me at least, symbolize potential. The buds are a fresh new energy to begin a new relationship or to start over with an old flame. Whatever the intent is for you and your oil, that's what you're going to want to put into the rosebuds. Last herbal element in this oil is going to be vanilla bean. And I am using 1 whole vanilla bean. And you can add this in pieces, you can cut it up, or use it in its entirety. I like to split it open so the scent can really infuse in the oil, which isn't that important, but I just love the smell of vanilla. And vanilla is extremely calming, relaxing, and it soothes any anxiety you have around love or relationships. Many of the herbs used in this recipe are very feminine, but vanilla's alluring scent can attract both men and women. Magical lore also says that vanilla used to be used by women as a sort of magical perfume to allure a lover or a partner. So this makes it the perfect choice for this oil. For the crystal element, we're going to be adding in some garnet chips and some rose quartz. The rose quartz is known as the ultimate love stone, and it represents unconditional love. So this is always a stone I like to use in any of my love oils. Garnet is actually one of my favorite stones because it's the Aquarius birthstone. Any other Aquariuses out there? Garnet is known for its intense, passionate, seductive properties, and it's also associated with a lot of physical healing. It's a really grounding, physical energy type of stone. Don't forget to also enchant your crystals before you place them in the bottle, and I also cleanse them with the incense before adding them. Doesn't this look so beautiful already before we even add the oil? Remember earlier that I said that I was only adding the rose petals? Well, this is an old bottle of Come To Me oil, and it's about halfway finished, but I'm going to pick out the rose stems from this and add it to my new bottle. I know a lot of people like to do this, and I do as well, is I add a little bit of the oil from the mother batch or my old batch of Come To Me oil. So this is what I'm doing right now. And of course you don't have to do this if this is your first time making it. If you wanted to put in the whole rose, you can definitely do that, or you can just use the red rose petals. It's really up to you. The stem isn't necessary. It's just what I used in my last batch, and I know a lot of people like to use the entire rose in oils. So I'm just pouring in about a tablespoon of the old batch before we add in our fresh almond oil. And here I'm just going to rub a little bit of this beautiful rose water on my hands and sprinkle a little bit around the area to wake up those love energies. And I'm just clapping my hands to sort of wake up these love vibrations. So we're going to be using almond oil. And like in all the recipes I'm going to give you, or a lot of recipes you'll see, almond oil is really good for the skin. It's gentle, it's healing, moisturizing, and it absorbs pretty quickly into your skin. So you can also use sunflower or grapeseed, which have very similar properties, and they're also light in texture, light in color, and they have basically no odor, which makes them perfect for ritual oils. And now here is the final product. You can see all the little beautiful herbs and rose petals and the cinnamon stick all floating around. I could really just stare at this all day long. And now you're going to take your pink candle, and you can use a votive candle, a tea light, a taper, a chime candle, whatever you have. Just make sure it's pink. And I'm just going to cleanse the area a bit and cleanse the candle with my incense. Go ahead and light your candle, and you're going to want to let this sit until it burns all the way down. and then your oil has been enchanted. But while the candle is burning, you can sit with your oil, you can meditate with it, focus on feelings of love, imagine your perfect partner entering your life. Just sit there and enchant it and really put your energy into it. And this last step is totally optional, but if you're setting your oil on an altar or a table, even your workspace, I like to make it really pretty and add some of the extra rosebuds, or you can add some rose petals. Anything you have left over from your spell, maybe some lavender, it just adds an extra bit of energy to infuse your oil while it's sitting there on your altar. Once the candle has burned down, I suggest that you leave the oil for a full moon cycle, just so that the oil can take on all the energies and the aromas of the herbs. Of course, if you really need to use the oil, or if you're in some kind of time bind, you can use it. Maybe I would suggest wait at least 3 days at the minimum, or a week if you can, and then it should be ready to go. So that's the final recipe, guys. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and thanks for watching! You can find this and many more spells in Plant Magic. Pre-order available now.